Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have my little sister. Now that wedding season is upon us, Saturdays are pretty much devoted to wedding parties because I do makeup. So I decided why not do a little quick video on how I do a more natural bridal look. A lot of brides message me and ask me to see my portfolio if they haven't, and then I direct them towards my beauty Instagram. But looking at pictures that I normally post, I feel like they sometimes are scared because I do such harsh makeup on myself. Like I do the more like drag, dark liner, dark lips. So this is just to show what a more natural bride would want. My sister Sam, she has a different facial structure than me. She has smaller eyes. She has, I have really oily skin as far as she has normal to a little bit of dry on the sides. So this is a good option for that. We went with really bronzy, glossy eyes, glossy lip, really focused on dewy skin. So yeah, you can definitely recreate this yourself. You can, if you're an aspiring makeup artist and you're doing makeups for weddings, this is a really good look, and along the way I threw in some tips and tricks. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you want to see how I achieved this bridal look, just keep on watching. So first we're going to start by prepping the face. I'm going to be using Mario Badescu's facial spray with aloe, chamomile, and lavender. So you want to make sure they're very well moisturized, because if they're not, if they have any dry patches, it will cling to the makeup and then it'll be harder to fix later on once you have more layers on. I'm going to be using the Time Balm face primer. She doesn't have very oily skin, but she also doesn't have dry skin. So, and don't mind my nub. My dog broke it. I'm getting them fixed today. But it actually helps out with makeup, so whatever. So I'm putting that right on her T-zone, and I'm letting the area around soak in that facial spray still. Matte and Poreless by Maybelline, and it's in the shade 228 Soft Tan. She has pretty clear skin, so I don't want to overdo it and cake her face when she really doesn't need it. Especially if they do have spots, you don't need to apply a bunch of foundation all over. All you need to do is spot correct. So that way the end product can look seamless and not cakey. Along with that, I will be using my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil. I bought this at a makeup show. This helps make the foundation more dewy and not so. All you need is one drop on each side and maybe a tiny one on the forehead. A little goes a long way, and what it does is it makes the foundation look more skin-like. You want to make sure you blend all the way down. Okay, look down. Now I'm going to be going in with concealer with my Shape Tape and the shade Light Medium Honey, and I'm just going to dab the tiniest bit under her eyes. Using a damp beauty blender, I'm going to blend that in. RCMA powder, I'm going to be putting that under her eyes. I would normally bake, but she's taking this off and going to class, so I'm not going to do all that. But yeah, if this were true wedding makeup and you want it to last all day, you just pile this on and you let it bake while you do the eyes. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my Bare Minerals Bare Pro Golden Ivory foundation, and I'm just going to lightly set her foundation with it, ever so slightly. I just want to set the foundation so it's not tacky and I can start building onto it. Contour, I'm going to be using the Shade Light palette. Going in with the lightest shade and an angled little baby brush. I'm going to tap that off and have them look the opposite way and just start contouring the cheeks. My sister has a really small face, so we don't need to do that much to it. She already has pretty high cheekbones. For someone like me who has a way bigger face, you want to do the most. Here, look this way. Hit that hairline. If their hair is already done, you want to be really careful with not messing it up. So normally I like to, you don't clip it, because once you clip it, if it gets lines, the hairdresser will kill you. So you want to just hold it back and dab into the hairline. Because if for some reason there's wind, anyway, if for some reason there's wind and the hair happens to blow back, take shots where like they're moving the hair back and you see the clear line of where their scalp is and where their bronzer starts. That's a bad day right there. So you want to just blend it into the hairline. Not to contour the nose. Once again, she has a really nose, so You don't have to do much to it. You literally, I'm just going to contour ever so slightly the sides to make it a little bit more slimmer. For mine, since I do have like that hump in my nose, I hit it on the bridge over it, but she has a perfect little nose, so we don't need to do all that. Going in that same palette, I'm going to hit the light colors all in the top 3 rows. I like to honestly mix them, especially since she's deeper toned. I'm gonna have her look up, and I'm just gonna set that colorless powder. I know it's colorless and I know it's supposed to have no flashback, but I like to double check and just make sure by patting this on and giving it a little bit more color. Okay, now for blush, I'm going to be going in with my Milani Baked Blush in the shade 02. She has a smaller face. I don't want to go overboard because that will give the appearance of bigger cheeks. So you want to have them tilt and ever so slightly go right above the bronzer, and you can even layer it over the bronzer. And you can have them kind of like smirk. Yeah, like that. And right where that cheek lifts up, that's where you want to stop. You do get some brides who want that really strong blush look, but just always asking. You always want to start not as much, and then if they want later on, you can ask them, do you want more blush? Do you want more bronzer? You can always layer on, but once you go too strong with it, once you add too much color, it's really hard to blend out. So I actually like to do my highlighter in 2 steps. Dallas wants to be in this video so bad, but you already had your camera time. I like to do it in 2 steps. So I like to apply the highlighter on dry skin and then go in, mist the skin, and then go with the highlighter again. So I'm going to go with my Anastasia Amrezi highlighter, taking a big fan brush, and I'm going to going in with my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime spray. I'm going to go ahead and spray her face. I'm now going to take a more defined little brush and go in while that MAC Fix Plus is still a little bit damp on her skin. Just right at the cheekbones, right at the high points of the cheekbones. Look this way. Look straight at the camera. I'm going to dab the very ridge of her nose and her cupid's bow. I go to school like, hey boys, wants to marry me, hi. Oh my god, okay. I don't want to touch her eyebrows because she did get them microbladed. But here, look to the left. Alright, and look the other way. You can see Lola in the background. Okay, now we're moving on to eyes. For the eyes, I'm going to be using the Morphe 3502 palette. I love this palette for my brides, especially because it just comes with all the neutrals you need. My black did break, so I do have another palette that has black. For her, since she does have a smaller lid space, that's why I wanted to use, one of the reasons why I wanted to use her. She likes more natural looks. She doesn't ever do a wing liner just because it closes off her eye, as well as she does very like neutral. She doesn't go all out. So for a bride like that, you want to go very, very neutral at first, and then, like I said before, you can always add more color to it. But if a bride is unsure, that's why I normally do trials, but if a bride is unsure and you go too dark the day of, and then she sees it and freaks out, it's very hard to go backwards. So you can always add more. You can always have them look and be like, do you want it more smokier? Do you want a little bit more on the edge? Do you want a little bit more smoky down here? You don't ever want to go super dark and then them look at it and be like, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to go in and start patting this in. Like I said, she does have her eyebrows microbladed, so I don't want to be doing so many windshield wiper motions and risk getting powder in them. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'll go in right about under the brow and hit it with a brow bone highlight from that same palette and start setting in that corner. And don't worry about this area right here because I will be applying a metallic shade right there. And you want to just step back and look at her from afar and just make sure that it's same amount on both sides. The under eye area part, I'm going to use that same medium brown shades. Have her look up and just hit right there. Okay, now using my Stila Kitten Karma, I'm going to hit it in the inner part of her eye. Now you can either use a brush to blend this out, but I've honestly found that using my finger ever so slightly blends it out even better. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna zoom you in while it's drying. But for a bride who wants false lashes but doesn't do a winged eyeliner, one of my favorite tricks is to do a very thin angled brush, spray it with Fix Plus, and you go in and grab a dark brown shade, just eyeshadow. You can do liner, but eyeshadow is way easier to work with. And you want to have them close their eyes, and you lift their eye a little bit, and you want to tight line right where their lashes are. I'm going to be applying a rich brown liner on the outer part of her lower waterline. So I'm going to have her look up a little bit. She does have contacts, so you want to be really careful with that. You just want to hit the outer rim. I definitely don't like doing black on weddings just because browns keep it so much more warm and open and not so harsh. And since it's my sister, I'm just going to have her go ahead, put a ton of mascara on, get her lashes to where she likes them, and then we'll be right back. We are using the Better Than Sex mascara. It's very, 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 very good. Now to finish this look off, I'm going to be going to lips. I'm using MAC Swirl Liner to slightly overline her lips. I'm going to be going in with MAC's Matte color in the shade Yash. Open your mouth a little bit. Normally for my brides, I use all liquid lips because that way I can use the little disposable lip spoolie, but since it's my sister, I can use my tube lipsticks. You can use tube lipsticks for brides, but obviously then you have to get a little pencil, scrape it out. And then I'm going to be going in with my Lorac Alter Ego lip gloss. Okay, and that was the end of this video. Here is my 18-year-old bride. So we did a smoky look with a little bit of glitter on the lid, a glossy lip. I really focused on the skin in this point. So for brides like her, want to focus more on their skin. They want to focus more on just dewy, really pretty eyes, but they don't want to have any harsh lines. They don't want to have any black liner. They don't want to have a really dark lip. This is perfect for them. Someone who is more oily, I will be doing a separate video on that, and I think I'm going to do the whole face matte because some people do enjoy just having a monochromatic look. They don't want any highlighter, they don't want any of that, which right now this is in trend, but there is those brides who want to look timeless and don't want to worry about looking back at pictures 5-10 years from now and being like, I look like a glazed donut. That I will be shooting a separate video, but let me show you a close-up of her makeup. Alright, so here she is. Yeah. Okay, open your eyes. That way. Okay, now let me zoom in. Close your eyes a little bit. And open. So yeah, that was the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, tips, let me know. And thank you to my little sister for being here. I definitely made her do it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll do an intro after you're already all made up. I wonder if I should sit or if I should... Now taking my RCMA colorless powder. RCMA?